Hi, I'm OmniSunday. I like to make characters, and in this video I'll share a bit about the process of making one, along with some fun bits about the specific character I'm making in this video and how they fit into the world. A great way to make characters of any kind is to combine concepts. These concepts don't have to be related either, and this is a technique humans have been using for thousands of years. It could be something simple like combining two cool animals to make a cooler animal, or you could do something a little wackier. My first character making video involved a magic 15th century aesthetic scythe-wielding anime demon girl, but I'll go with something simpler this time. Before we get into that though, I'll just note that this is set on an Earth-like planet called Origin, specifically on the west side of the northern continent. Okay, let's get back to it. Y'all know those early 1900s noir films, right? Where everything's black and white and the acting is super dramatic? Every other scene has blinds in the picture for the most contrast possible in the lighting. There's also the more common cowboy genre in movies. What if we combined them? Our Noir Cowboy will be the last of a powerful race of cowboy magicians. He's the mayor of a small town in the north, and the strength of his magic is the only thing keeping the town running. Here's the first art I did of this character. He's not as old as Chloe, so this is from the end of 2022. I don't know why it says 2020. I was probably tired. His name is James Noir, and his magic overflows from his body to make his surroundings grayscale and high contrast. His grandfather and 4 of his great-uncles are alive, but the rest of their species perished from a horrible disease many years ago. His mother also survived while she was pregnant, but she died during childbirth. Obviously, this stuff is pretty dark, but I thought it would be funny if the character I made by combining TV genres had a backstory that was a combination of TV tropes. He never knew his father, his mother died from childbirth, and he's the last of his species. Right, let's get to that. The 5 Noir Elders are super old. I mean, it's in the name. The oldest, James's grandfather, is 109, and the youngest is 99. All of them are well past their expected lifespan, and none have a whole lot of time left. Also, I gave them boring 19th century white people names on purpose. I like how that contrasts with the rest of their designs. The power of their magic spans across the whole town of Noir, so anyone coming into town automatically gets a suit and tie with a fedora. During this time, James was able to leave the town as he wished, but as the elders began to die out, he had to stay in town to keep the magic around. Here's some art I made on paper in February. The animal behind him is the false bull from the Spec Evo video I made a week and a half ago, although the concept wasn't fully realized at the time. Here's a better version I made for this video. James's trusted steed is named Angus, who can carry thousands of kilograms of anything. Geez, the 3 options in my predictive text gave me, after thousands of kilograms of, was drugs, alcohol, and explosives. What have I been typing lately? Anyway, James uses his powerful magic to keep the town safe from the monsters that lie in the cold desert of Noir. But let's break the 4th wall and talk more about how I designed this character. Color is super important to me, so it's also super important in this world. The idea of a character that subverts the colorful world is super cool to me, and I also really like cowboys. I don't know, they're just cool. His magic gun that he shoots magic out of is also a magic cigar and or toothpick kind of thing that he just keeps in his mouth when he doesn't need a magic gun that shoots magic. Maybe I could be a little bit more creative with my use of the word magic. Another cool aspect of this character is his surroundings. Outside the city of Noir is an icy desert full of sandstorms and blizzards. At least there was in 2079. Here's the map of Origin again, set in the year 2079. The region of Noir is in the northern continent west of the mountains. It's obviously super cold and icy, but a lot can change in 13 years. In 2079, the king of Anthropos discovered a fuel source that could produce huge amounts of energy when burned. In the past, most technology used a magical power source, but this produced energy quite slowly and took a lot of work to create. This new fuel source only required a container and a match, but you'd have huge amounts of energy in seconds. 100 liters of this stuff could power a city for a week. Unfortunately, the burning of this substance had unforeseen consequences on the planet. Here's the map of Origin in 2092. This rapid climate change wiped out nearly half the species on Origin and raised the average temperature of the planet by more than 20 degrees Celsius. It seems these changes are starting to plateau, which the king of Anthropos is using as an excuse to continue burning his fuel. Although his influence on Origin is unforgivable, the reason we're talking about it today has to do with one thing that could be considered a benefit. The warming of Origin means that the icy poles have become much more habitable for the average species, especially sapient species, who are more capable of adapting and taking advantage of something like this. It also melted the ice in the desert, which turned to water and made it a bit less of a desert and more of a slightly uncomfortably cold beach. James Noir is now tied to his town, but it's more like a city nowadays. The warmth has attracted lots of tourists who are interested in the powerful magic that only exists there. Although Noir City is more successful than ever before, it's not really a Wild West town anymore and more of a city like Chicago or Detroit. It's the gross amount of people like in New York, but without the spectacle of the biggest city on Earth. It has a cool grayscale magic aesthetic, but it always smells like old cabbage and, well, everything else the city smells like. It's relatively safe, though people have been known to go missing in the beaches outside the city. Well, that's about it for this video. If there's a takeaway, let it be that it's fun to combine unrelated concepts to make a character. My next character making video will be about a deep-sea eldritch horror that is also a cute anime girl. I hope to see you there, consider subscribing, and thanks for watching!